Hello and welcome to episode 175 on the Online Trainers Podcast. Today's topic is, do you get results?
Hello and welcome to the Online Trainers Podcast, where we go behind the scenes to uncover the latest tactics and strategies top trainers around the world are using to get more clients, dominate their marketplace, and get their clients amazing results. There is absolutely no fluff here. I'm your host, Lynn Trin.
Now, it is an interesting podcast episode today because we've just finished up. We've just wrapped up the Legacy Retreat. I spent 3 days in here in Melbourne. I'm pretty sure if you've been following me on Facebook, you would have seen some of the pictures. Amazing. We gave away 3 100K Club awards for 3 coaches who reached the $100,000 mark, cash in the bank, in sales over the last 3 to 4 months, which has been amazing to watch. But there's not only has it been amazing to watch their progress and their journey, but more importantly, it's what the 100K represents. It's what the 100K represents when you're building the foundation of your business. Now, when I look at things, I always look at things like a game of chess, right? There's always that first step, and that first step of starting that chess game is the hardest thing to do. And your first $100,000 will be the hardest thing for you to go out there and create. But more importantly, it's not even about the money. It's got nothing to do with the money. What the guys were able to do was the guys were able to build systems that could get people results. They were able to build a community that could get people results. They were able to build a tribe and more importantly, have a flagship program that delivered content. And it almost is so cool to look inside of their businesses because they've got this flagship program built out that naturally just gets people results because they have the structure, they've got the systems, they've got the follow-up emails, and then they've got the environment as well. But today, I really want to talk about if you're still trading time for money, if you're coaching clients one-to-one, you will never get them real results. And you and I both know that information isn't going to change the world, right? This is something that I've been talking about and hammering on about for the last 6 months, is that we've got more than enough information. The biggest problem that we need to solve as a collective whole is how do you get people to implement? How do you actually get people to follow through? How do you get people to follow your diet program? How do you actually follow through on the advice that I'm trying to give you here? See, you can have all the information in the world, but if you're not following it, there's no point. And an important concept that I learned along my journey was figuring out that, okay, cool. If I'm going to trade my time for dollars, if I'm going to coach clients one-to-one, not only am I not going to get them results at a very deep level at which I want to truly transform and impact their life, but, right, I would be sacrificing my income. And a lot of you guys now, especially if you're coaching clients one-to-one, you're going to become the bottleneck. And so when people look and ask Lynn, okay, how do I get into the 100K club? How do I generate $100,000? I'm struggling to generate 5. Then the first thing that you need to look at is you need to look at building out the right system. And it's the system I've been talking about for so long. That is taking everything out of your brain and putting it into a step-by-step course format. It is a skill. You're not going to get it at the very first step. You're going to have to try, and then you're going to have to try again, and you're going to have to try again and be so dedicated to doing that. And once you do that, then you need to foster that foundation. See, that's just the strategy. You need to foster it with the foundation of the habitual work. You need to foster it with the environmental work. You need to step up to be the leader to make sure that that system gets implemented throughout your environment, throughout pre-framing your sales calls, whatever it is. Whenever you have a system and you're making sure that people follow through, they're going to get results. And then when they get results, we look at the back end and that's all a lot of fun. So really today's podcast episode is go, okay, I know you might be stuck still doing the one-to-one, still coaching people online or offline through course because you feel like that's the only way you know. But here's the thing, if you want what I have and if you want what, the 100K Club boys have at the moment, you have to be willing to let go of what you have, because what you have might not be serving you. And I know how fearful and afraid and scared it might look at the start when you're going through this and you're not sure what to expect. You haven't found a way yet. And the natural thing to do is go back through the progression of going back to that one-to-one, because that's more secure. You know what to expect. So With that being said, if you're trading your time right now for money, it's the worst trade in the world. I'm pretty sure Warren Buffett, I'm pretty sure Tony Robbins, and amongst many of the thought leaders have said that, and that's why they don't do a lot of one-to-one work as well. But it isn't just about the money, it's about the environmental impact, it's about the implementation, the follow-through for your people to get actual results. That's why I've talked about the concept of if you're going to climb Mount Everest, it's so much cooler to climb Mount Everest with 10, 15, 20 people, a group of people, as opposed to climbing it by yourself. So that being said, I hope you are slowly lifting up that buckle from trading your hours for dollars. But yeah, it's starting to be resourceful, and it's starting to go, okay, actually this stuff is actually legit. Whatever he's saying, he's done. But more importantly, people have actually followed through on the system. So if you're not doing that right now, it's probably my first key recommendation to get started and get done on that.
Alright, if you enjoyed this podcast, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes, and feel free to leave a review, and that way I can respond and I can take that on board in developing content to serve you. Now, if you're not a part of the Online Trainers Club on Facebook, please do yourself a favor and be a part of the conversation. That's where I add daily tips, tricks and strategies on how you can build out funnels, how you can get more clients, and ultimately become a better online coach. Thank you for listening.